Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are still working on Measure for Measure, and today we get to hear from Angelo in Act 2, Scene 4, and we get to the horrible would you rather question that I told you this play was all about, or at least it's that sort of at the heart of this play. So the things that are going on, Angelo is in charge of all the stuff. He has condemned Claudio to die because Claudio got his common law wife pregnant. Claudio's sister Isabella went to Angelo to plead for leniency, to plead for clemency, to plead for mercy, and she was such a good debater that Angelo fell in love with her because he's attracted to her purity and her goodness and her all of these sorts of things. She's this far away from becoming a nun. Like, she was at the Abbey, kind of sort of right about to take her vows before she had to come and plead with Angelo. So Angelo got turned on by her wit and her purity and all of this sort of thing, and he told her, come back tomorrow. So in this particular scene, we're in tomorrow. She's coming back to find out if her brother is still condemned. And Angelo got to spend a little while at the top of the scene talking about how in love he is with Isabella, and also how inappropriate it is that he's in love with Isabella, and how he really doesn't like this whole thing, but he can't help it. Like, even his physical reactions to her coming near are sort of betraying him. And then she comes in and she's like, so what's your answer? And he's like, yeah, your brother's going to die tomorrow. And she's like, what? No, what? And he's like, yeah, no, your brother's going to die tomorrow. And she pushes on him and he pushes back, and he comes back with, well, if having sex would save your brother's life, would you do it? And she's like, yeah, I would, because, it was all hypothetical, that sort of thing. So he keeps pushing a little bit further and pushing a little bit further with this. And he gets to, okay, but let's say your brother's going to die, like one way or the other. There's nothing that can save him, nothing that can, the sentence is absolute. Would you sleep with the person who could save him on the off chance that something might change? And she's like, no, because if I end up sleeping with somebody and giving away my virtue and my soul, and my brother is not saved, like that, then I've condemned both my brother and I by my actions. So no, that's not really a fair trade, and I wouldn't do that. No, like I don't plan on sleeping with anybody. And he's like, well, here's the thing though, I am in love with you and I want to sleep with you. So if you sleep with me, then maybe I'll let your brother go. And she's like, excuse me? What? And he says, I want to sleep with you, and if you sleep with me, I might let your brother go. And she's like, I'm going to tell everybody what a scumbucket you are. Like, how are you propositioning me like this? This is completely wrong and inappropriate and out of your place and out of your station. I'm going to run through the streets and tell people what kind of man you are. And Angelo looks at her and says, who will believe thee, Isabel? My unsoiled name, the austereness of my life, my vouch against you, and my place in the state will so your accusation overweigh that you shall stifle in your own rapport and smell of calumny. I have begun, and now I give my sensual race the rein. Fit thy consent to my sharp appetite. Lay by all nicety and prolicious blushes that banish what they sue for. Redeem thy brother by yielding up thy body to my will. Or else he must not only die the death, but thy unkindness shall his death draw out to lingering sufferance. Answer me tomorrow, or by the affection that now guides me most, I'll prove a tyrant to him. As for you, say what you can, my false o'erweighs your true. And then Angelo leaves, and the entire Me Too generation smacks him upside the head, because oh my goodness, he's pointing out the whole he said, she said thing. And he's the man in charge of Vienna versus a nun. And he still says he's going to win, and nobody's going to believe her. and nobody is going to take her word over his. This is Brett Kavanaugh speaking. This is Brock Turner speaking. This is every man who has ever fought an undisputable rape charge and won. This is what he says, and it's a little bit frightening that this is what the attitude towards women was even 400 years ago, and still people aren't listening to women when they say they're being harassed. But anyway, yeah, just that last line, say what you can, my false o'erweighs your true. It's just, it's terrifying. So of course we can't end the scene there. We have to hear a little bit from Isabella when she has the stage by herself to finish off the scene. And thank goodness we get to hear that tomorrow. I'll see you then.